Samuel Love's up next. We're getting some responses here, and it's fun to see some of these names. I'll share them with you here in a minute on the Black Scorpion. But he wants to know, the year 1991 for WCW has always interested me more than any other year in the company, having lived it. Where does 1991 rank for you in terms of the years in WCW that you look back on with fondness or resentment? Late 1990, early 91 was some of your best work on the mic and in the ring, in my opinion. Keep up the great work with the podcast. Thank you, Samuel. So he wants to know, having lived it, where does it rank for you in terms of your years in WCW, that 90-91?
Well, thank you for the kind words, Samuel. It was fantastic because you got to remember, I had just got back from 24 days a month on the road. WWF, 24 days a month, every month. And I mean, flying from here to there, to here, to there, to there, to there. There was no rhyme or reason to the travel. Besides the fact that WCW was based in Atlanta, which was, I grew up around there. It was a short drive, 4 hours to drive it from Charlotte. I went from 24 days a month to 8 days a month at the most. Some months, 6 days. All we were doing was TV, no house shows in those days. Guaranteed contract, rain or shine. If you didn't work one day, every 2 weeks, check was there. Your wife could plan a life, could plan a budget. If you had a 3-year contract, for 3 years, you're going to get every nickel of your money, no argument there. And the fact that you're on that television, the reason people still recognize me today, it's from then, being on that TV. You know, that was a strong television, 6 to 8 on Saturday. My God, if you're going out, you're still home getting ready. And if you're going to stay home, you're still home. That show got some really high ratings, I'm sure.
Arn, you talk about that name recognition and people recognizing you. Talk about Charlotte or Atlanta, just going out places to eat and stuff like that. I mean, were there restaurants saying, buddy, you're not paying here, we're glad to have you? Was it that kind of situation for you?
That happened, you know. You didn't have to wait. You walked in and there was a bunch of people in line that had reservation, and we got some heat off of it occasionally. But if you had your family and you just walked in, I mean, we wouldn't go up and ask to be put at a table, but you just kind of, when you walked in, there was a little bit of buzz because, especially in Charlotte, you were like the home team. We didn't have the Hornets, didn't have the Panthers. You didn't have those pro teams yet. The wrestlers was their pro team. And you would walk in and you was like, you're an NFL player walking
Rock
in.
stars.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and you would be seen around town, and different guys worked out at different gyms, and guys were buying homes in nice neighborhoods, and, you know, that word, oh, hey, you know, wrestler moved in the neighborhood. Oh, yeah, who is it? When we first got our house, our first place, and when we were still with Crockett, man, I had more neighborhood kids that first week we moved in coming down, ringing the doorbell, because we had a bunch of kids in the neighborhood, and they were great neighbors, and we lived there 12 years, and man, I loved it. I loved, you know, going out and, you know, throwing a ball with some of the kids and, you know, doing some stuff with them, neighborhood kids, and they just became part of the family. It was awesome.
Man, that's so cool. You know, because you could easily just went in and hid and you know, put walls up around your life and kind of live that lifestyle. But to see kind of that family man, that just real guy that you are, that we've come to know here, so cool.
Well, thank you, and it is 100% legitimate. When your mom's an only child and you're an only child, that doesn't leave a lot of room for siblings, cousins. I'd never been around kids at all. And once we had Barrett, once you have a kid, your whole complexion changes about how you look at life, or it should. And if it doesn't, that's your responsibility now. You're not a big star when you walk in the room. You know, you're just dad, and it humbles you. And you just look at life in general a lot differently.